Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for always returning. Thank you so much for your show of love. Thank you so much for all that you do for this community to keep growing. Hope you're well in all your ways, Your Majesties, and you are loving your silver lotus like always. When France was in Niger, when they're still holding on to the Niger government, with their puppet so-called leader, Bazoum, their uranium was going for 80 cents per kilogram. Now that the military took over, the same uranium that France was coming to take for 80 cents per kilogram on this, just look at the roads. This started circulating recently, and I felt so ashamed that Macron can be so shameless and will still be going here and there, up and down, shamelessly, looking for who to still back him up to come invade Niger. Just look at the state of the country that they go to take what is making them wealthy. Look at the condition that Niger is in. Niger is seen as the poorest country in the world. But they are holding on to resources that could have made them more than Europe and America put together. Because of greed, wickedness, stupidity, all right? Selfishness of our own leaders and the wickedness of the West, the citizens were not able to enjoy their God-given gifts in their own land, in their own soil. Now, when these military leaders came up, they started selling this uranium for 200 euros per kilogram. What was going for 80 cents is now 200 euros. This is how Macron has been milking out the Niger people. No wonder he is growing mad. No wonder his head is scattering, because he knows exactly what is involved. This is what the Nigerians have been going through the hand of the French government. And the only wrong they have committed so far was to tell the French people to leave them, to tell Macron, no, we don't want any more, leave us alone. This is the only crime that the Nigerians committed. That France is going throughout the whole world, looking for army to come and invade this little country. These are people that come to preach for you. These are people that come to tell you that they are bringing God to you, as if you don't even know who the creator is. It's so shameful.
From day one, I've always held the view that Africa have bad leaders because the West keep interfering in our politics. I keep telling you guys that if the West stop interfering in African politics, Africa will get good leaders. Just imagine. The heroes or our heroes in Niger have raised the price of uranium from 80 cents, just 0.80 cents, to 200 euros per kilogram. So these so-called civilian governments were selling uranium in Niger for less than even $1 per kilogram, whilst the revolutionary government has raised it all the way to 200 euros. Just look at the difference. No, if you look at Mohamed Bazoum is an academia. What is the sense in all these schools this man went? This Mohamed Bazoum guy is highly educated, and he was selling uranium for just 80 cents, whilst he relied on aid from France. So to those of you who claim all the military and the civilian governments are all the same, shut up. Look at the difference. We can see it. How can you be selling kilogram of uranium for just 80 cents, whilst your people are begging from France, and you call yourself an academia? These so-called civilian governments went to some of the best universities in the world, yet they behave. I don't want to use some words because they'll block me. Shut up. I'm serious. This is good. Oh. We can see the difference. We can see what Adama Traoré. Hey, can you shut up? This goat looks like a CIA goat. Or is it a sheep? Oh. You see, we can see the difference. We can see what Adama Traoré is doing. At least, we saw what at least Muhammad Gaddafi did. We saw what Thomas Sankara did. Some of the military governments are the best governments we've ever had in Africa. The useless military governments we've had in Africa, all of them were sponsored by the West. The coup d'etats, positive coup d'etats we had on the continent are some of the best leaders we've ever had on the continent. I'm not a fan of this guy, what is his name, both Museveni and what is the name, Paul Kagame. But these guys are doing something positive in their countries. I'm not a fan of them due to, a lot of reasons. But at least they've done something positive. Better than these civilian governments we have across Africa here. Most of them are useless. Africa, this is the time for us to take our country from these puppets. Adama Traore is now building nuclear energy. Adama Traore is now building factories. And this is what we want to see. Today we see Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali cooperating militarily. This is what we've been asking for a very long time. All the civilian governments have failed to unite or form a security architecture for us in Africa. Attack on one is attack on all. We need our own NATO in Africa. All these useless puppets, they have failed to implement this. Yet the military governments, less than 4 years, all of them combined, less than 4 years in office, they are doing what the civilian governments for the past 60, 70 years have failed to do. Why will I waste my time, go and join on queue, go out there to vote for somebody, and the person will come and misbehave? Why don't the military take over? At least I'm sitting. I'm not wasting any time. I'm not going on radio stations campaigning for anybody. I see the sense in. I see sense in this military governments more than the civilian governments. In some cases, our votes are not even counted. That is the most annoying part. We go out there to vote, and they change the verdict and give it to a puppet regime to rule. So I believe in the military governments. I believe in them.
All right, Your Majesties, we heard all that. Now, he was emphasizing on if the West never interfered with our leadership, with our politics, or whatever you might call it, Al-Kebula would have had leaders that are sincere and focused. Yes, I agree with him on that. If no one is coming to lure some people in the continent or to deceive them with some huge amount of money, we have our path. I don't let that slide. I keep saying it. Because if you love a brother sincerely and someone is coming from outside telling you to hurt your brother or your fellow brothers, you will know that the life of your brothers are worth more than any amount that some other persons can come to give to you. Now, if our leaders are so wicked and corrupt and selfish, without the West coming to give them opportunities, whatever they plan will not happen. And if the West are coming with fake opportunities, coming with lies that might seem so beautiful and true from the beginning, and our leaders say, no, we are not accepting this, the West will never have hand in this. Like, the West would never operate successfully. The French government will never operate successfully as they do in Al-Kebulan if they never had help. Now, the other thing is, leadership is not by the level of school you go to. What makes a good leader is just the heart. It's not how many books you've read. It's not how many what school did you attend, at what level did you attend your school up to. You just need the basics. And then when you have a good heart, and you have the fear of the supreme being in you, that is enough for you to lead, because you would know that in all you do, you are there to serve. And your people's safety, their future, their security comes first before anybody's whatever. You will put your people first before you. So what makes a selfless and good leader is not the books. It's not the classes. It's not the titles. It's the mind, it's the heart. Because you can read all whatever in this world, but when your heart is not there for the people, you don't have sympathy, you don't have empathy. Because when you have empathy, you will feel what those people feel. You put yourself in their shoe. You feel what they feel being under you as a leader. Then you look into yourself and see where you can amend. What is this that I can do that my people will feel better? If I am the one that is being led like this, how do I feel? But no, we don't have them these days. Leadership in Al-Kebulan these days have become turn by turn according to Jagaban, aka Tinubu. Because you saw how anxious he was, how desperate he was. He needed a position, how he rigged the election, and how he went on saying on public medias that it is his turn. Other people have ruled, now is my turn. These are statements that we hear now. So leadership is now turn by turn. You do yours, you go. I come and do mine. And when I'm doing mine, you don't have to say anything. Because when you were doing yours, I didn't say anything. This is a state we have reached as a people, and it's quite unfortunate. I tell you, Your Majesties. A lot still needs to change in the continent of Al-Kebulan. A lot still needs to change. This is a man who claimed he was intelligent, he was educated. He was selling his uranium for 80 cents. Now, these are soldiers that they claim they don't know anything. Soldiers do not go to school. They are not intelligent. Theirs is to be at the forefront, at the war front. They don't know what politics is. These are same people that know that their uranium is worth 200 euros. What do you think, Your Majesties? Leave your comment or thought there in the section, and I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.